Yeah. Oh, live? What are you live on?
On YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Streaming in math class?
Можешь, пожалуйста?
You have get better.
Say how. Все,
Oh my God. I'm not getting them. Alright guys, next Wednesday we'll skip the warm-up. Let me tell a quick for my other class. I forgot that Wednesday we have 5 periods and then lunch. So take out your notebook and we went over 3 vocabulary words. If you were absent or someone's notebook. Take out your notebook. Look at those 3 vocabulary words. We're going to add a little bit more tonight. And you guys have tools to work on as you are homework.
Huh? What do you say?
Человек.
Okay, so these are notes from yesterday. We're going to add a little bit more. So take out your papers. And, I have a report yesterday. Were you at school yesterday? There was a little bit of report came on You guys see that your papers?
Yeah.
Workbook. We're going to continue with our notes. So if you were absent, look at the screen. You're going to read. Where's the work done? Okay, so we're going to do today, we look at Venn diagram, and these are typical questions where you'll be asked, let's say you have a set of letters, not the whole alphabet, maybe like 7 or 10 or 15 letters, and you'll be asked to put them into different groups, like one group might have symmetrical letters, and one group should be, I don't know, letters that have a rotation to it, because these are common problems, or you might have values, numbers, where you'll have to break them to like prime numbers and multiples of 5, for example. So if I give you something like this on a quiz, will you be able to make sets at Venn diagram?
Yeah.
So answer it to yourself like, yeah, I can, or if you are thinking, no, oops, she gives me a test or quiz today, I'm not ready, so start reviewing, look at your notes, make sure you understand them. You'll be able to, part 2, answer questions based on the Venn diagram that you create. Like union, when we have all of them, group A and B, and we're united into groups without repetition. Intersection, where we're looking for common numbers in both groups, all right? And then complement, we learn also complement. Complement means that it's not part of the description. So if I say, what's the complement of A or B, that means it's not an A and it's not an B, okay? So that means it doesn't belong to A or B. All right, so those are the three vocabulary words. Are we fine with them? Anthony, I need you to pay attention. You're not a ninth grader. Turn around. No, turn around. You can handle 42 minutes or maybe less, 40 minutes. All right. So next slide, you guys are going to write these down. These are, some come as formulas. Can you guys see it or do I need to make it a little bit bigger? Okay, so, all right, so next one, pencil. All right, so in your notebook, make sure you're writing these notes because sometimes I'll let you use notebook on tests and quizzes, which was helpful, but we need the notes. All right, so first problem, or first example on that's all I can. All right, so probability of something not occurring. So if it's not occurring, that means I'm just deducting from one whole set or one whole representation. So for example, what's the probability that I do not select the person who's wearing anything with red, right? So you quickly look around, like how many people are wearing red? 1, 2. I have 2. So 2, right? So that means we're taking out 2. We're pulling out 2 from, I don't know, 28 students, right? So not wearing red. So 28 minus 2, that'll be 26. So that means 26 people are not wearing red in this class. Make sense, guys? So that's why we use one whole. One whole is like represent the whole entire class, right? And this is a common formula that we use, so that you don't have to sit and wear not red, not red, not red, not red. It's just too much to count not red, right? So you pull out how many are wearing red. So we have, let's say if I have 28 students minus 2, that means 26 are not wearing red, and I don't have to go one by one to count who's not wearing red, okay? So that's the formula. This is generic form. So if you're asked for probability that something is not occurring, use one whole. 1 represents entire class or 100%, right? Minus those who do qualify for that situation. And then you'll get those who are not qualifying. Another one, when 2 events are mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive means nothing common, okay? Nothing common. So for probability of event A or event B to happen, we just add them up. For mutually exclusive. So for example, my room has 0 connection with the room across, right? So we're mutually exclusive. My room and Mr. Benfort's room right there, we're connected. We have a common wall. We share a wall, right? So I have a wall, so does he have that same wall, right? So the builders put only one wall to separate 2 classes. So we're not mutually exclusive because we're connected. 2 rooms are connected. We don't have a door to go through, but if, for example, if they install a door, then I'll be literally in another classroom, right? But if I install another door or another door right here or anywhere extra door, that extra door will not get me to that room that's across, right? Because we're not connected. So that's mutually exclusive. So 2 rooms that have nothing in common, no common walls, no other ways to get from one room to another room quickly, like from here, for example, if I have an extra door to get into that room, I can be in that room, right? Or I can be in the Starbucks room if we just install a door right there in the back, right? So 2 rooms are not connected, not mutually exclusive. My room and any room across are mutually exclusive. So if they're not exclusive, you just add them up. So for example, if I want to know what the probability that I'm going to select the person from my room or Mr. Ray's room, that means I'm just counting. I have 28 students here, and he probably has like, I don't know, 15 students in his room, right? So we're going to add up the number of students together. So that's the formula right there. So this formula, write it down, this is only for events that are mutually exclusive. That means there's nothing common, okay? Another example could be, if I give you a deck of cards and I ask you what's the probability that it's cards, 4 diamonds, right? You will count all the hearts, and you'll count all the diamonds, and there's no such card as heart with a diamond together, right? So they're called mutually exclusive. That's another example for mutually exclusive. And on your toolkit, if you need to put some examples like mutually exclusive events or independent events, those are like good examples to put. You can use examples with cards, you can use examples with rolling a die and tossing a coin. So if I roll a die and then I toss a coin, they're mutually exclusive, right? Okay, and the last one more formula. This is the third formula. So we have 3 formulas to know. Can you guys see the last one? So for also for independent events, probability of event A and B, so pay attention, this is or, this is or, this is or, this is and, so probability of event A and B to occur, that means we are, it should say times the probability, sorry, cuts off times. Yeah. All right, so one more, last one. So if you have 2 events that are independent events, for example, spin a spinner and spin it second time, or spin 2 separate spinners, right? Or toss a coin and then roll a die. They're independent events. You can see that it says we're multiplying your 2 times. And you had a lot of these questions on your homework last week that looks like this. For those who already turned in, if you forget to turn your homework, by the way, just make sure you turn it in. Because I sat down and I pulled out and I don't have enough to grade, so just need a few more. So when you have 2 spinners and you spin first spinner and second spinner, they're mutually exclusive. They're independent. So these are independent. So for example, if I want a red and then a blue, you are going to multiply in this situation. All right? So for and, you're going to multiply. If you see or, you're adding up. So or means either this or that, doesn't really matter. That's for or. If you see and, that means I want this to happen and then I want that to happen. Like I want blue on the first spinner and red on the second spinner. School colors, right? So that'll be multiplication. So pay attention, maybe highlight. Or with a plus and we'll have the multiplication. So these are just the backup formulas to remember. You guys did already enough examples and homework problems, handouts with all of these without giving you one, because we learned them from examples. Now we're just attaching formulas to make sure you have them and you understand that or and are 2 different ways of calculating. Okay, when you're done writing this down, maybe circle or highlight your formulas, put a box around them or a cloud so that it's visible, it stands out on your paper. And Jocelyn, are you done writing them down? Okay. So if you're done, I'll probably see that your pencil is down. Okay, all done? If it's been 10 minutes, we can make passes. Kimberly, what letter your last name starts with?
O.
Which one?
O.
O. Oh. Yeah, you can go. And you wrote this down? Yeah. So 3 formulas. If we're looking for what's the probability that it's not a king, we do 52, that's all minus 4, right guys? That's not a king. You subtraction. Whole deck minus 4 of them. If you have probability of selecting black marker, let's say if I had color, and then blue pen from two different bins, that's and, as I said, and, right? That's multiplying, that's third rule. And the middle rule, that's or right here, is the probability that I select, and this is only for mutual exclusive, that I select a student from, what's the probability that randomly there's a student for early dismissal from Ms. Molina's room or Mr. Rady's room, right? And it'll be, we're just adding together, so this number plus that number, we'll know how many, right? And then it could be one student out of a big group, right, of whatever amount. Okay, can I go to the next slide? Are we ready for the next slide, guys?
Hey, could you take that, please?
All right,
Can you take that, please?
Where's Luis is here. Luis, did you finish writing these?
Right there, right there.
Angel, you have them? Angel, put away your Chromebook and participate in note-taking activity. Okay, let me go to the next slide. And sorry, my computer's really slow. 16.